Did you know that if you start with a voice like this,
God, can you imagine? I mean, it would be quite an extraordinary thing.
you will actually have a harder time voice training than you would if you started with a voice like this.
I think you end up being very self-aware.
So if you've ever been watching a trans voice coach's videos on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever else you consume your media, and you're like, this isn't working for me, I wonder why. Well, chances are that their advice isn't necessarily directed at your starting place. Just like women's voices, men's voices have a lot of variation as well. A lot of men speak in what's called a mixed voice register versus a proper chest voice register. I talk a lot about vocal fold mass on this channel because it's really important that you recognize at which place your voice is starting from. A really thick vocal fold mass is going to sound and be a proper chest voice. A thinner vocal fold mass is going to be closer to a mixed voice. And through our social conditioning, we can also change that starting position just based upon who we involve ourselves with as adolescents. If we grow up in a safe environment, maybe around a lot of queer people, we might feel that it's a little bit safer to bring our voice to a more higher, softer position, thus giving us increased flexibility down the road when we start to voice train. But say, for example, you grow up in a backwater where your graduating class is less than 100, it's really important that you sound as masculine as you can, and thus you train your voice to be as thick and as dark as possible. If you're starting from a mixed voice, chances are you don't have far to go at all to find your feminine voice. This is because the anatomy of your voice is already similar to that of cis women's. Yes, it is a little different, it's a little thicker, right? There's some social mannerisms that might not quite be in place yet, but the starting place is already a lot closer. But if you're starting from a really thick, dark chest voice, you're going to have to first learn to manage that airflow. You're going to first have to learn how to even get into a mixed voice in the first place. Resonance isn't the answer if you're starting from a position of really, really deep, dark chest voice. If you're starting from a really dark, deep chest voice, learn your airflow first.